Happy Coffee Talk Monday. Dr. Michelle coming at ya. I was having a conversation with my wife this morning and thought that it would be a perfect topic to talk about today. Cheating. We play pickleball, and sometimes the calls seem a little sketchy, which is what we were talking about this morning. And I know that my clients who in particular play tennis deal with the same situation. Opponents on the other side of the net making sketchy calls. I've had this conversation with many of my clients who are tennis players and also friends who are pickleball players. What do you do in these situations? What do you do? There's really not much you can do. So you can get pissed off, which then leads to this whole cycle of things happening. You get in your head, you get angry, your muscles get tight, you lose range of motion. Makes it kind of difficult then to play. Not helpful. You can completely let it go. Yeah, I mean, why hang on to it? There is a middle ground. And this was part of the conversation we were having this morning. You can ask, are you sure? So here you see a varying degrees of things, of areas that you're in control of, right? So you don't ultimately have control over the call, but you have partial control by asking if they're sure, and you can have no control by just letting it go. So those are kind of your options, but for sure, getting angry is not a great option. And that is a lot of our immediate responses and reactions. I know for me, on the pickleball court, when someone calls a ball out, I do have an instant like, oof, are you sure? But that's what I ask. Are you sure? I try not to get angry about it because it doesn't do anybody any good. Certainly doesn't do me any good to feel the anger and then to put the anger out there to my opponent or opponents. That doesn't do any good. So asking is a really good option, and that's what I get in the habit of doing. Look, there are some people who probably feel the need to cheat, especially in tennis. Because as I continue to see, there is a lot of pressure around being a good tennis player that creates this environment for kids to want to cheat. Now, with that said, I don't know that it's absolutely on purpose, or I don't really think that they do it with any bad intent for the other person, necessarily. I know I'm talking myself into a hole here, right? But what I'm trying to say is, yes, there are some people out there who want to cheat, but for the rest of us, we really are just trying to do the right thing. And sometimes we think we do see it out. And so we call it out. But here is where, for me, there's a little bit of a fork in the road. And this is another part of our conversation this morning. I feel like, for me, if I don't absolutely see it out, then I don't call it. So if it's close, I don't call it. Sometimes I might, but 95% of the time, I'm not going to call it. Why? Why? Go after the ball. Hit it. It's so easy to call something out, even though you're not really sure it's out, because you didn't get to it. So that's how I think about it. I'm not telling you to think about it that way. But I don't really think most of us really are trying to cheat. I mean, I think there's moments, right? Even in a playful game of pickleball, right? Like maybe we're down and we just want to get the other person. Rarely happens for me. I don't really play that way. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely moments. Look, we're not perfect. So we're not always going to make the perfect call. And we're not perfect in that, sometimes it sort of looks like it's out. So I'm going to call it out because I want to beat you. Again, rarely do I do those things. But always keep in mind in these situations that you don't have control over that person who made the call. So again, you can get angry, which doesn't do anybody any good. You can let it go, which, a lot of times that's a good option. You can question. Are you sure? Not in like, are you sure? But are you sure about that? But then you got to be ready for the response. If they say yes, it's like, okay, then you got to let it go, right? Cheaters, in the end, will get what's due to them. We don't have control over that, which in moments sucks, but it comes back around. I fully believe that. So focus on yourself. Take partial or full control when you can. And realize it comes back around. If you have thoughts or questions, let me know. This is Dr. Michelle coming at you on another Monday, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good week. Bye.